first of 3 bank holidays in May. And then we have to wait until August for another one.
What, another bank holiday?
Yeah, that is.
Well, just about the coronation in July, really.
Yeah, poor planning, wasn't it? Here we go then, VW Sportsman. Eliminations round number 1. And it is the man who wears the number 1, Paul Robinson. And taking on Reese Finney. The dial-ins end, 16.90 for Reese. He's going to be going first. 2.2 seconds later, the tree will run for Paul Robinson. And it'll be up to him to see if he can chase, catch and go past, but without breaking out to take the win against Reese. But Reese wants to try and stay in front, obviously, at the stripe, but obviously does not want to break out. First thing they need to do is get green lights, which they both have achieved. So now it is a race to the stripe, but without going under your dial-in. That's why reaction times are quite important. In fact, very important. And, well, Reese got there first, but he went way too quick. 16.63. 14.90 takes the win. So that's Paul Robinson through to round number 2.
So looking like a bye run for Hazel Carter. No Andy Cooper.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Octavia for quite a while, to be honest. So Hazel breaks the beams and takes the win.
Right, Darren, you're not going to hit straight. I'm going to catch you before you go.
Right, so Steve Metcalf with the Blue Steel Beetle, 16.5, and Martin Ayton with the Polo, 15.75. 3/4 of a second difference on the tree, so Steve will be leaving first. Oh, good to see 2 green lights. Looking at the live feed, looks like Steve's out in front and stays in front there. Takes the win light, 16.57 on a 16.50. Not quite as close for Martin Ayton goes, 15.92. So Steve Metcalf through. Nigel Gregson and John Gallant. So neither of these two in the cars that in effect they entered the meeting into, or what were in the computers anyway. So instead of an Octavia and a Scirocco, we have a Golf and an Audi TT, but that's the way things work out. John will be leaving first, 16.90, and then Nigel will be trying to chase him down, 13.7, but it's race over. John goes red. Nigel Gregson had a proper think about that one, went 1.5 seconds on his reaction time. Start line crew almost tapped on the roof saying, come on son, off you go.
Well, he's probably looking at the red light thinking, ooh, cool.
Yeah. How shall I celebrate? So Nigel Gregson through to round number 2.
Bye run for your number 1 qualifier. The one and only Polly Judge.
Yeah, a freebie, 16.41 is the dial-in. Can she hit it? She did it in quali. 16.20. Ooh, that's muddled up her dial-in for round number 2.
Well, maybe she could just dial that in and, you know, it'd be perfect. I think the thing is that probably just used it as a run to see what the car could do.
Yeah. Dial-ins, let's have a look. 18.15 for Tom, 15.66 for Lorraine. Beetle getting quicker and quicker. It's such a good looking little car actually. I love the colour scheme. A very well presented team. Had the pleasure of sitting with Trevor and Lorraine at the VW awards night tail end of last year, and Lorraine was so excited to bring this car into competition. So Lorraine is in chase mode, trying to close down on that little Lupo. Going to be close at the stripe.
Very. Doesn't think she's quite got there. She hasn't, unfortunately. Ran out of legs at the top end. Winlight in the other lane with an 18.23. Lorraine was off the start line first with an 0.5 to a 0.19.
Yeah, but I think the car did bog slightly, hence that's why she failed to close the gap. How about Phil Jones and Jerry Sadler? 14.59 plays 15.94. Track counts at Jerry down and he gets the green, as does Phil. Jerry out in front, but here comes the charge from Phil. I don't think he's got enough. Oh dear. Jerry breaks out. He was half a second ahead at the stripe, basically. Phil did bog off the line slightly. He went 15.09, but when your opponent breaks out, you're into the next round. Well done, Phil. And it's a buy to round 3 from round number 2 for Phil. So in effect, 2 rounds for the price of 1. Danny Bean with the Lupo, Andrew Clark with the Golf.
Let's see if they sorted the issues out with the Golf. 1776 is the dial-in this time. Doesn't matter whether they sorted it out or not. He went red.
Oh, dear.
0.19 red.
So Danny Bean going through.
2072, still a few seconds off what he's dialing as well.
Karen Waterhouse with the Menopause Audi TT, and Reese Taylor with the Seat Ibiza. Only 0.2 of a second between them on the dial-ins. So Reese will be going first, 14.60. Karen will be chasing and be fairly close by for most of the run, 14.40. Well, it does look like Karen's out in front.
Already, yeah. Oh, maybe
not
at the finish
Look
line.
at that. Whoa. Our eyes deceived us a bit there. We looked at the finish line camera, and it is Reese Taylor that takes that one. 14.74 against a 14.46.
Caitlin Wilson. Up next in Havoc. Family Beetle. I would say it's been in the family for generations, at least 2. Caitlin is in the Kestrel lane. Taking on Jordan Clark.
Let's look at the dial-ins end. 17.10 plays 16.22. Well, red light there for Jordan, so it's Caitlin that's going to be going through. Yeah, 1684, big breakout as well.
Way too quick, 76 miles an hour as well. Well done, folks. John Crawford with the Crawford Motorsport Dennis Priddle tribute car. Kestrel side of the racetrack against number 4 qualified Bruce Harvey. 17.68 for Bruce. He's going to be going first. Bruce is way out in front, and provided he doesn't break out, which he does, the win light goes to John Crawford. Yeah, John Crawford nicely judged. Let the other guy break out. He got there way too quick. Way too quick. So, Justin Foley with the Red Dwarf. Kestrel Lane against Andrew Bambrick. All the way down from Manchester with the Golf.
Is it literally the red car and the blue car having a race, both the same vintage? Or same mark of Golf. Oh, problem there for Justin.
Yeah, Andrew's already gone past him, provided he doesn't break out. Bear that in mind.
Yeah.
He's going to take the win. It needs to be backing off.
Oh, right at the stripe. Oh,
And
he didn't break
breaks
up
out
enough.
by over 0.2 of a second. Had that one in the bag. 6-second win margin, and he broke out. Oh, dearie me. That's going to hurt.
Well, the VWDRC all coming together to ensure that Lawrence Clark was racing this weekend. The Thunderbug, what did come out of the trailer, but huge amount of issues. Couldn't get the car to work, and Tom Herbert very, very kindly indeed said, yeah, run the Golf. And Lawrence settling in quite well with this.
Going to run out of room now, I think. Yeah. Nicely judged by Nigel Gregg. Takes the win light.
But well done to the VWDRC and all the teams there for ensuring Lawrence had a great weekend nevertheless.
It was a long wait, Nigel. Round one's over, but you took a win. My first ever win in any elimination. Is it? It is. It's even better. Well, I've only ever done 3 bug jams and a drag day. Nice. But yeah, it's normally electrical diamonds and all over the place. Oh well. It's my first win. In the spare Audi as well. I think it may not be less spare now. What? Yeah, that's it. Well, that's it. We'll see how you go today. Well, I still get points even if I don't get any money. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm not taking points. That's it. That's it. That's what I'm in for. That's all that matters, isn't it? So you can literally, if you wanted to change to the Mark III in the next round, you can. Your points will roll over. It's the person that carries the points. Yeah, well, but if she's not picking up. Oh, that's fine. Oh, well, there you go. Anyway, roll on round 2. I bet you're not happy.
I even lifted and I never lift. Never lift and I lifted, but it's still fucking too fast.
Oh well.
Car's back. Race car's back.
Race car back for next time. But your road car did well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Needs a head gasket now.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at round 2 of the VWDRC Championship with a race car. Lawrence, obviously, not the weekend you wanted to start with. No. You started with the Beetle, you had issues, and then Tom lent you the Golf. Round 1.
Haven't felt great this weekend. Done absolute best we could. Everybody's helped out and everybody's done what they possibly could. Problem being is I blew the front end off. Literally loaded it. I knew I had to chase him down. He's got a good car, fast car. Knew he was going to get away on the light, and basically I gave it everything, a little bit too much of everything.
Oh,
So blew the front tyres and there was no way of chasing him down at that point. But hopefully by next meeting the Beetle should be back together. And we should be able to back at the track again.
brilliant. Well, look forward to seeing you. That's it, look forward to seeing you at round 2. Thank you, Lawrence. Right, Phil, round 1 win, number 2 in the championship last year. You're rolling on to the second round.
Yep. Racing Jerry in the Beetle. Challenging race. Both got away well off the start. I went and wheel spun.
That's it.
Catching him, chasing him down. Didn't quite make it. I was lucky. Jerry got such a good run. Broke out.
Oh, wicked. Well, roll on to the next round.
Yeah. Looking for
Hi, Poles. Did you win, Poles?
I had a bye. Number 1 qualifier.
Oh, the champ. You lost your first round, didn't you?
Yeah.
But good weekend so far?
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Loved it.
And I'm loving the uniforms.
very much so.
It's looking good, it's looking good. But gain experience. And we always say, what, there's 25 people entered this weekend, all 25 expect to win. Only one person can win. So hopefully no one goes home disappointed.
And a good reaction time. Good reaction time.
Oh, very
We
nice.
like
That's
that.
it. That's it. Well,
That's all about as well.
that's it. It's making a stamp for the next round, and people have got their eye out for you. You'll be in Mr. Crawford's notepad. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, well, I think we are. No, thanks for honestly the team, everyone around us. They're all a great bunch of guys, and thank you so much. And VWDRC all the way. Go, go, go.
Left. That was a good run. Your launch, I literally was like, I was standing on the sideline and I was like, win, all the way.
Yeah. I lifted.
91.
Oh, what's your normal terminal speed? 100. Oh well. That's got to be one of the luckiest wins in the world.
This is uncharted territory for me, so I've never made it to the second round.
Nice.
I did one spot default by getting a point, so yeah, I don't know what's
But
going on.
that's your first round win. But the reaction time, I thought the guys were going to top on the route and say hello.
I saw the red light.
Oh, fair enough.
I was on the line, I saw him go. Out the corner of my eye, I saw the red light, so I thought, I'm not going to do anything silly.
Sensible.
As I started going, I thought, getting red light, he did back up.
Yeah.
I then doubted myself and then started to go.
I'll be honest, I didn't even see the red light. I just was concentrating on you sitting there.
Yeah, no,
but it's sensible because of this year, obviously the new rule brought in, it's no longer first or worst.
Okay.
If you're both red light, if you're red light, it doesn't mean you're the first one to red light.
No, it's fine.
It's the closest to a red light. So if,
Yeah, that's why I was
sensible.
my reaction time was 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I didn't want a red light. So I just pulled away and then thought, oh, perhaps he hadn't red light. So
That's it. That explains it. Well, there you go. I was wrong. I wasn't even paying attention.
it's
Good racing.
been the weekend of first.
All right, see you in the next round.
Thank you.
Speak to the professor, please.
Well, I'll tell you what, they say better to be lucky than good. I've just abused the privilege. I was dead in the water at the top end there. Couldn't get full again.
Oh.
So,
But thankfully, Bruce
yep.
kept his foot planted.
He said he'd seen me and he said he lifted, but just not quite enough. I was at the top end and yeah, I was coasting over the finish line, and then I looked across waiting for the light to come on in his lane and it didn't. And then just out of peripheral vision, I see it on the left and
Party
wow.
time. Oh well.
So,
Well, you'll take luck all day long.
Just seen Luke running for the first time ever. It's such a sight, you know. It's almost magnificent. Not something you normally see in the animal kingdom.
Like a young gazelle.
Yeah. Like a young gazelle who's been shot in the leg with no legs. So, Ian Dale and Graham Fairhead, basically rolling. Oh, I think Graham Fairhead's going to kick himself when he sees the ticket after that one.
Yeah.
Half a second reaction time for Ian Dale. All he really needed to do was go green and do what he did. And that would have been that. Well, disappointing and unfortunate end to his weekend.
Yeah, considering it's the first round of the National Championship and he got knocked out in the first round and he's the defending champ. All right, number one qualifier, Chris Waterhouse, has got Ed Keach to get around here. Whoever wins this gets a bye into the semis. Oh, but Chris goes red. Great looking run though, stick with it. 984, 142 mile an hour. I think we'll be happy with the ET, disappointed with the red light, and then he broke out. He did everything he could to lose that race, but nevertheless, you'll take a PB away from that. 13.05, Ed Keach takes the win. Chris Poyner and Abby Tether. 12.82 plays 11.21. So Abby will be leaving first. Finally got a name for the car now, Arthur Daly.
There goes Abby. Followed by Chris.
Ooh, I hope it's not death smoke.
Well, it is Abby that takes the win, 12.85 on an 82. There is a lot of smoke down there in the shutdown area for Chris Poyner. So we've got a couple more pairs to go, I think.
So as you said before, it's James Hodson taking on Joe Hall. 2 VW Golfs for you, different vintages. In fact, the Mark II is the faster of the two. James looking to run a 10.75. Joe wants to run a 12.97. So the newer Golf is going to leave the line first by about 2 seconds. And James is going to do his best to run him down. Well, I'm not going to say anything as of yet.
However,
but he's already there.
Yeah, and passed.
And passed.
And
don't break
passed.
out.
Lots of brake lights there.
There we go. James Hodson, perfect light. 0.000 on the tree. That is incredibly impressive.
Especially in eliminations, actually.
Exactly.
Brave, I'd say.
Yeah, so he took the stripe by nearly a whole second. And he had the brake lights on. So well done to James. Next up then, Jake Fronda with Nino 2. Big old engine in that thing. 460 cubic inch big block Ford powering the VW Golf Gasser. Taking on Daniel Kopin with the Golf R. Danielle looking to run 11.90. Jake wants to run 11.26. About half a second on the tree. You can see how vague the steering is in the Gasser. Of course, that being a characteristic of Gassers, and this thing is such a short wheelbase.
Good looking run. Oh, what a race.
0.4 at the finish line.
One on a whole shot, that one, 0.12 to 0.32 for Jake. That was what made the difference in that one.
Edward! Who goes on the two-step that early? Not you, him.
Are you in the semi?
Have you got a semi?
Me. He's in the semi.
Well,
Sam.
What gear comes up first?
Second, I believe.
Yeah. Don't need it.
Oh well. Well done! And on a whole shot win as well. Whole shot. So basically you won because of your reaction time.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jakey baby.
Yo,
Unlucky dude. Whole shot win there, so it was a good race.
159.64, I'm pleased with that.
Yes. From where the weekend started to the way where the weekend ended.
Super crew.
Super crew.
That's what it's about. You're not having him back.
He's only on lens, you know.
No.
Sorry. Yeah? Is that a nice little PB?
Yeah.
Well done.
I was just in it for long enough.
As soon as you went into a pre-stage, he was like, wow, and I was like, he's done a me. I was like, sitting there, and then I was watching, I was like, mid-track, I was like, this shit's gonna blow up.
I'm in it.
About 1,000 foot, it started getting misty. I thought, here we go. Oh, well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Big shout out to Decimal Attempts for being on this weekend. It's a pro race, they were here. Crossleys, John, White Pulse, Turbo, who else?
It's like John Force here.
Yeah. Well, apologise if I missed anyone else, but I think that's it.
That's it. Well done.
PB.
Well done. Oh, action shots. Graham, the champ.
Yeah.
Out in round one.
Alright, so I can be fucking
That's it. Someone wanted to go home early today. Well, it's not really early, is it? Victoria looked over me. It's not bloody early.
It was a .01 red light, so I can't do it deliberately that close.
That's it. Don't worry. Well, the championship is still yours to be chased.
Yeah.
See you next
Not a
round.
good start. We had a good start last year. We learned the first round last year. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See you next round.
Still got the rest of the year.
First round winner, cup of tea maker. Mr. Dale's in the second round. What's going on?
I don't know, yeah. I haven't got a clue.
And it's always nice when you get to race Graham as well.
Yeah,
You've been
that
racing
was
together
very
for
good,
so
yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Nice wheelie as well.
Nice wheelie, and we broke out. So yeah.
That's it. Well, you see a red light, you break out. Sod it. Oh well. Roll on to the next round.
Yeah.
Miss your Hodson into the next round. Well done.
Thank you.
Good run.
It was alright, yeah. Yeah, good line. Went through, yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
And the champ's out.
Champ is out. That's great news.
Abby. The takeaway's a bit.
Shall I do?
The takeaway just got extended. Hello, media man.
Hello, I'll be happy. It's fine.
Hi, Abby. How are you doing?
It's all
How
right,
was the
fine.
race?
Alright. It was alright.
You sound like you're choking again there.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Choking on camera. No, I'm supposed to be camera. You've got...
That's it. It's your bouncer and media manager. Got the dirty gloves on.
That's racing.
That is racing. And someone just told me that was a good run as well.
I can get into 4th 1168, so it could have held out, but yeah, upgrade it, get it back to Bug Jam, that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be back.
Team Goblin back at Bug Jam.
Stronger, hopefully. Probably financially ruined me.
Oh, the number plate's going away after round one.
I know.
Otherwise, you had a good weekend?
I've had a brilliant weekend.
That's what we like to hear.
I've had a really good weekend.
And you're back for the next round?
Not the next round, I'm on holiday, so I'll be for the... Actually, no. When's the next round? Not Bug Jam, I'm not coming to Bug Jam.
No,
I might do...
we've got Sportsman's Nationals.
Yeah, I might be able to do that then. So, yeah.
Cool.
Definitely back.
See you soon. To them next.
Yes,
Right, VW Sportsman. Polyjudge taking on Nigel Gregson. This to set up quarterfinals. There goes Polly. And, oh. What happened to Nigel? It sounded like the car stalled then. He had an 0.4 light compared to a 0.34, but I can say that now because Holly is so far up.
Well, she looks like she's actually already off the throttle. In fact, she's braking now.
Yeah, she runs an 18.53. What a shame for Nigel Gregson. 17.36 on a 13.70, but it looked like the car did stall on the line. The number plate there, VWSP1. I wonder who that is. Yes, of course, it's the champion from last year, Paul Robinson, going to be taking on Thomas Circuit with the Lupo.
Here we are then, rolling them into pre-stage. And now we're waiting. Paul goes in, sorry. Tom follows him.
Oh, you can see Tom. He heard the wheel spin before before the green was even close, and yet 06 red. So Paul Robinson takes the win. Let's see what Tom Circuit can run. 8:09. I thought he'd break out. 14:81 there for Paul Robinson. So Danny Bean and Hazel Carter, your next pair. Well, in fact, no Hazel Carter. I do remember she staged and took the green in the previous round, but car was actually pushed back. So it is Danny Bean that's going to be taking the win here. $14.82 on a $14.30. Reese Taylor and John Crawford, your next pair. $14.60, plays $15.99, so it's going to be John Crawford leaving first. Oh, Reese went straight into stage. John thought, no, not having that. Oh, now he rolled straight through. Oh dear. Now, make sure he's in forward drive. John Crawford on the brakes takes the win with a 16.46 against a loser at 15.58. Battle of the Bugs, Steve Metcalf and Caitlin Wilson. You got the Misdemeanor Havoc Beetle 17 flat for Caitlin, 16.40 the Blue Steel Baja Bug of Steve Metcalf.
Wow.
Well, it looks like Steve's already alongside Caitlin.
Eating up the difference already, just shadowing her.
Yeah.
Actually, he's out way out in front actually.
now.
And he broke out. He had loads to play with off the start line. He was 008 on the tree.
Yeah.
Caitlin was 0.12.
He's going to be kicking himself when he even rewinds the live stream and realise just how far ahead he was.
It was a long way.
But Caitlin takes the win.
It's all part of learning how to bracket race, though, isn't it? Just making sure.
008 on the tree against a 0.12. But hey, that's racing. Nigel Gregg and Justin Foley. $15.65 for Nigel, going to be leaving first. Justin 14 flat, going to be chasing. Well, Nigel Gregg 15.65. Looks like he's parking up. Crosses the line at 65 mile an hour, takes him in with a 16.1. Problems there for Justin.
I like that problem. He's parking up at the finish line. Yeah, just sort of put the handbrake on and wait. So I can hear a rumble. I'm not sure whether it's going to be. It is Supercast coming round next.
Yeah, just got one more to go in VW Sportsman. That's Phil Jones with the Dragon Wagon on a solo. Predetermined bye. Actually, Caitlin Wilson gets a bye into the semis in the next round.
Well, it goes red, but that's no issue on a bye run.
14.59 the target, 15.67 the run.
But Danny Williams just said what the bleep then, didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah, that was very good.
There. No, I think, bizarrely, I think Steve will be happy he's in the 10s with the car.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you red light, there's got to be some sort of silver lining, and
Yeah.
that's definitely it, isn't it, really?
So, VW Pro.
Ed Keach on a bye run. .37.
Yeah, predetermined. Whoops. Predetermined by that wasn't supposed to be a race, so
Yeah.
we're not missing anybody. We got 2 pairs coming up, and it is the 2 Golf R's, Abby Tether and Danielle Coppin. Abby will be leaving first, 12.82, and Danielle 12 flat. And whoever wins this gets Ed Keach. Oh, Abby goes red. It's Danielle that takes the win.
And breaks out.
Yeah, Abby did everything she could to lose that.
Nice run for Danielle, though. So, Ian Dale and James Hodson. The last pair in VW Pro before we can move on to 2 wheels. So James Hodson 10.75, 12 flat for Ian Dale with the Beetle.
James went perfect on the tree in the last round.
It doesn't matter what he does this time, is Ian Dale went red.
That's the funny thing, you know, is that if you go perfect in one round, what do you do the next round? You go, oh, that was a bit close. Do I not do that again? Yep, through into the semis. He's James Hodson.
Number 1 fan, how did that go?
That went great.
Early finish Friday. You sure you've not done this before?
No, we haven't.
Well done. Well done. You have a little moment at the top there, took you half out.
Yeah, me and Abby was having a little couple.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, VW Pro semi-finals coming up. Our rookie Daniel Coppin into the semi-final against Ed Keach, a previous VW Sportsman champion. Then we have the most winningest VWDRC person behind her with a bye run to the final.
Well, not a bad debut in Supergas for Jed. Gets all the way to the
He's
semis.
done very, very well indeed. Right, this is VW Pro. Ed Keach, Danielle Coppin. Ed is a former champion actually in the VW classes. This is Danielle's first season. Again, very tight on the reaction times, but it's all about getting to that strike first without breaking out. And it is a double breakout, but it's Danielle that takes the win. She broke out by 400s. Ed broke out by more.
So another buy run for James Hodson. Looking for a 1075, but he's just going to take the B-man roll off the line. Although he's laying on the power a little bit at the top end. He obviously got bored of just pootling down. Still does 93 mile an hour.
Right, the last semi-finals to run, and it's VW Sportsman. This sees Caitlin Wilson taking on Paul Robinson. Darling's End, 17 flat, plays 1467. It will be the Beetle that will be going first. Gets the green light. And there goes Paul Robinson, but he lights the cherry. It is Caitlin Wilson into the final. Paul Robinson, 0008 red. Oh boy. It's Caitlin Wilson into the final with the misdemeanor Beetle. She breaks out. Who cares? She's into the final.
But who will she be racing? Will it be John Crawford with the Dennis Priddle Tribute liveried Golf? Or will it be Danny Bean with the Lupo? Danny looking to run a 14.45. John Crawford looking to run a 15.99. When you look at these two cars, you wouldn't think that the Lupo was the faster one, would you?
Oh, Danny Bean goes red. So it is John Crawford. Probably celebrating already. And he's into the final. See what he runs just out of interest. 1608 against the loser at 1430. That's it. We are set for final.
Your first final, your first VWDRC meeting. How's it going?
Fantastic.
You excited?
Yeah, loving it.
Good. And Crawford, you got any words for him?
Don't get beat by a girl.
Ah!
Just like to point out there's a lot of Haribo riding on this between me and the defending champion. So
I have heard about this.
yes,
Yeah, and I've been told I need to win.
just so he can get the Haribo. Well, I've already gone further than him, so I've won the Haribo.
Oh, okay.
So that's fine.
It's got nothing to do with me then.
I think we need more of a Haribo bet going on here.
Yeah.
Oh well, may the best man or woman win.
It's going to be awesome. Whichever one of us it is, we'll work for it. Yeah. So it's going to be great.
Back to winning ways, Mr. Hodson. Are we feeling confident?
Not really.
Oh!
Few changes in.
We'll see. Good luck, buddy. Talking tactics. $16.94 to a $15.99.
And we have the VW Sportsman final. Caitlin Dials 16.94. John Crawford does indeed stick with his 15.99. Caitlin will leave first by a little under 1 second. And then John Crawford will have his job of chasing her down. We want no red lights. We want no breakouts. We want clean racing. Caitlin goes on the two-step. Goes green. John Crawford goes green too. In fact, he went very green. I don't think I'm actually giving anything away by saying that.
It's Caitlin Wilson that takes it. Congratulations to Caitlin, an 08 light as well. She takes that one. It's the victory trophy making its way back home with the Wilson family.
She's had a past event wins and championships in Junior Dragster, and I believe that's her first event win in VW Sportsman and in the Beetle.
It is indeed. An amazing job. Right, this is a VW Pro.
James Hodson has been taking out every new model Golf that he probably possibly can. I don't think he's actually raced anything else today. But he's got another one. The Golf R of Danielle Coppin. She's looking to run an 11.95. James is looking to run a 10.85. So 1.1 seconds between the two. It looks like one of the bulbs is already on in oh no, it's just got a different bulb.
It's just the way the sun's caught it.
Yeah. So Danielle's off and running away. James is hunting her down. I don't think she's going to get it. I can hear Danielle's lifted.
And she takes it. A 12.41 against 11.34. They both lifted. But it is Danielle Coppin that takes the win. Well done.
Well done. All the ladies this weekend. Was the wait worth it?
Yeah.
It's been a long ass day.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, but your very first race,
Yeah.
your very first win, the same with Caitlin in VW Sportsman. It's her rookie race and it's her rookie win. So the two girls to the top in both championships.
Your runner-up this weekend, it is the one, the only, my goodness, John Crawford! Taking the runner-up in VW Sportsman this weekend. Event winner, and her first event win in this car, although she's won championships in the junior classes. Let's hear it for Caitlin Wilson! Taking first event win in the class, Danielle Coppin. Congratulations to Danielle. Not a bad way to end the bank holiday weekend with a winner's trophy.